ride, Happy Cow. Hi, my name is Ken Spector with HappyCow, and we're here in Berlin, Germany. I'm here with one of the most famous raw food chefs in Europe. His name is Boris Lauser, and I'm going to talk to him today about his raw food culinary cuisine. So tell me a little bit about your background in raw food preparation.
My background in raw food preparation started about 4.5 years ago. I did my first internship or my first education at the Tree of Life in Arizona. It's world famous, well known. Dr. Gabriel Cousins is known for his curing diabetes with raw food disease, and they have a nice gourmet cafe where I taught with 3 different chefs, 3 different head chefs. Everyone taught me different things, and it was like a brilliant environment. 3 months worth of like full-on kitchen training and a lot of theory background.
Okay.
So that brought me first into my career.
So there was a raw food vegan scene in Germany before you even knew how to prepare food. However, you brought the sizzle to the raw food scene. Is that correct?
That's right. That's right. There was a vegan raw food scene like long time ago, like since 100 years, 150 years even, like old German doctors cured people with raw foods. I didn't even know about the scene, honestly. I discovered raw food in San Francisco because I'm a big foodie. I love to eat. I love to check out places where I go. I used to travel a lot for work because I'm a business engineer originally. So I went to San Francisco and I went to Cafe Gratitude and I had a raw vegan cheesecake because I used to like normal cheesecakes, and I just blew my mind, and I said, wow, this is amazing. I need to bring this to Germany because this is where it became sexy, basically, and accessible for the daily normal eater, let's put it that way.
So how did you convince people to move from sort of maybe a less interesting raw food cuisine into your more interesting, elegant raw food cuisine?
Well, when I came back to Germany, so I used to live in Rome before that, and then I decided, well, I want to go down this path, so I moved to Berlin and into a little studio loft here in Kreuzberg. And right after coming back from the States with my initial education, I started this dinner club thing at my house because I read about it, that it was kind of famous in Tokyo as well and in other cities, and I found that concept really interesting. And I first started it by friends and friends of friends and promoting it that way. And soon it became a hype. Nowadays we have like 50 dinner clubs where people coming over to your personal house and you cook dinner for like 10 people, 15 people. And that sort of started off as an underground thing, and people thought, oh wow, he's doing... And I just didn't focus on being it healthy, raw food, eco kind of thing. I just said, I'm doing amazing food. It happens to be raw, it happens to be vegan, but come and enjoy a gourmet 4-course dinner menu. And that's what people are doing at my place. And then they come out and they're like, wow.
Oh, amazing.
I didn't miss anything. Where was the meat? I didn't even notice that it was not hot. It was kind of lukewarm or warm or even cold food. And they don't even notice.
Very cool. So there is an amazing Berlin vegan scene going on. On HappyCow alone, there are about almost 20 vegan-only restaurants in town. And almost every menu that I've seen around Berlin has a vegan option, which is amazing. And people know the word vegan here, possibly more than they do in Los Angeles. Everyone knows that word vegan, and I see it everywhere. How did that come about initially? That was about 2 years ago, I heard.
Right. And I started earlier. I started more than 4 years ago with my supper club. So as I said, for me, like it wasn't even the most important thing to be like vegan or to be this, but like to offer something that's just tasty and that's just amazing. But now, obviously, with the whole vegan scene developing, that gives me a huge new hype, and it's like it's just really taking off at the moment because it's in everybody's word, and like it becomes actually very, very hip and very in to be vegan and to eat vegan. And that's amazing.
And is that in Frankfurt and other cities throughout Germany, or just Berlin?
It starts to be in other cities as well in Germany. It's still just Berlin for the moment that it's that much of a vegan scene going on, because as you say, we have all these restaurants, we have a vegan supermarket, which is just outstanding.
Right. What do you think the reason is? What happened 2 years ago to cause this vegan influx of restaurants in Germany or in Berlin?
I think the reason has been coming for a long time. Like we've seen it coming, but 2 years ago I think it reached a threshold basically of scandals, of food scandals, of meat scandals, of eggs like small chicken have to die for my egg. I didn't even know that. And even if I buy organic eggs, they still have to. And that all came out by the press, in the media. It all came out like within this range now. And I think that's why more and more people jump on this vegan track, because they know this. And like, that's the food scandal side, but also the health side, because people tend to want to be more healthy, and they see in people like me and people like others who eat a lot of raw food that it does a lot to their skin, to their body, to their flexibility. You get rid of allergies, you have no food intolerances anymore because you get rid of gluten intolerance, of the lactose intolerance. And I think all that combined together, and the reports in the media that bring across that message.
Are you thinking of opening up a restaurant in Berlin?
I'm not so sure yet, because the restaurant business, it is quite a tough business, really. And the thing for me is my passion is traveling and food. So if I'd open a restaurant, I'd be very stuck at the place. And right now what I do is I run this supper club in Berlin, so I can open and close it whenever I want. I run courses as well. I teach people how to create raw food dishes, and then I travel a lot. I travel about 5 months a year, and I offer all this internationally. I run retreats in amazing places, exotic places like Bali, where for 1 week I have my own course, a certified course, where you can learn all about raw food, all about the gourmet raw food, but you see much more. You see how wild Bali cacao grows under coconut trees, under bananas, and like lots of great stuff. And that's what I love to do, really. I do a yoga and raw food retreat in Thailand. I do a mountain bike and raw food thing in Lake Garda in Italy this summer. So it's the combination of all the different aspects that I really love, and that way I think I can spread the word even more.
Now, just off of the top of your head, do you know how many raw food restaurants there are in Berlin? And what are some of your favorite vegan restaurants and then raw food restaurants?
Right, so there's no 100% raw food restaurant in Berlin. There used to be 2, but they're both closed by now. But there are 2 other restaurants. So, of course, one is my supper club, but that's not I open on a daily basis. Then there's Bistro Bardot, which is an all-organic hotel Almodovar, which recently changed their chef, and they have a new raw food chef, and it's amazing food that he does there. It's not only raw, but it's partly raw, so you can get your raw options. And then there's La Mano Verde, which is an excellent restaurant as well. Partly raw, partly cooked food, all vegan. That's another very good choice to go to if you want to enjoy some raw vegan food.
And terrific. Now, how can people find out more information about you and your supper clubs if they come to Berlin? And it's open to anyone who comes to Berlin, right?
Anyone. Okay. Anyone at any time. Sometimes people even email me and say, like, hey, I'm in Berlin, like in about 5 weeks' time. Do you have a date open for your supper club? And I will make the date possible, because we usually plan a month in advance. Well, you can find out all about it on my website, www.bealive.org. Be not without the E, but like Bali, VE.org. And on Facebook, if you just Google my name, Boris Lauser, or Be Alive, you can find me there.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for the interview. I really appreciate it. I'm having a great time here in Berlin. And I'm Ken Spector with HappyCow. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Thanks, boy.
The Healthy Eating and Living Guide, HappyCow.